Insulin insensitivity. I really thought that's the thing. I really thought that's the thing which is causing my regular inflammation spikes during ovulation or at the end of a cycle. And many things pinpointed to that. Also, simply because it's a natural thing for most of us women to develop a certain degree of insulin insensitivity, simply because our estrogen levels are dropping. However, my estrogen level, thanks to hormone therapy, is not dropping that much. It's actually in a good level right now. So it's not so low that my insulin would be so much affected. And yet I thought maybe I have developed insulin resistance because I've been monitoring my glucose, I've been monitoring my ketones, and especially in the beginning when I started monitoring, my glucose levels were pretty high, like fasted, not just overnight, but I had dinner maybe at 6 and I had breakfast, lunch at 10. So that was 12, 16-ish hours of fasting windows, sometimes a little bit longer, sometimes a little bit shorter, but pretty long intermittent fasting windows. And my blood glucose was close to the hundreds. I mean, it wasn't really much above the hundreds. That was rare, but it happened once in a while. But it was more like 89, 85, sometimes 83, sometimes 75. But other than that, usually it was in the upper 80s, upper 90s. And I thought, oof, that might be too high. That might be too high for such a fasted state. What is it when I eat food? Is it like spiking to 200? Could that be the cause for my inflammation? And so I went to see my regular healthcare practitioner, and I really was scared because inflammation is one of the primary causes for stroke, heart attack, diabetes type 2, dementia, Alzheimer's, cancers, cardiovascular diseases like mental, cognitive health, etc., etc. And I thought, ooh, yeah, my mental condition was really bad, like really, really bad 1.5 years ago. And I did find a super, super, super high correlation, if not even causation, between sugars, like eating a candy bar. Not good. Really not good, even though it tastes super lovely every now and then. But I found if I have a candy bar a day for 3 days in a row, I'm plummeting into depression, like really bad, really bad. And that candy bar, as lovely as it tastes, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. There's other ways to get the sweetness. So I found there is a connection between sugar, my blood sugar, and insulin spikes and glucose spikes, and also the drops. And so I thought maybe that has caused a constant inflammatory state within me. And I don't want that because in my family, there is cancer, there is stroke, there is heart attacks, there is dementia, there is Alzheimer's, there is, what else? There is diabetes type 2, all those things. Oh, cancer, did I mention? Yeah, all of those things, they're in my family. They're in my family. So it's not just, oh yeah, you're not gonna get it. It's super likely I'm gonna get one of these at least. And as inflammation is one of the primary factors for those to develop over time, I thought, I want to curb my inflammation. And I notice I have regular inflammations here and there. I don't want it to be in my entire system. Yet, my insulin levels and glucose levels were really good, like really good. And I was so happy. I was so happy. You cannot imagine. And I thought, ooh, yeah, my measures really have kicked in, and maybe I don't even need to be so strict on my diet anymore. I mean, I'm watching what I eat. I'm not keto, but I'm close to keto. Lots of veggies, lots of protein, lots of fat, few, I mean, it's wrong to say few carbohydrates because veggies are full of carbohydrates, but they're also full of fiber. So that's a little bit of different thing, but low on fructose, low on sucrose, low on starches. So that has helped. That has helped with my acute inflammation, which happens recurringly, but apparently I do not need to be so strict for my entire cycle throughout the entire time, because I do not have really bad underlying inflammation. So that's, oh, thank God, I'm so happy about that. Because my grandma, one of them, died when she was 47. That would give me 6 more months. I don't want to die that early because of cancer. I really don't. So, nevertheless, it could be that many of your symptoms are correlated to insulin resistance and to glucose spikes and drops, and that could be something for you to look at and to keep in balance, to really keep in balance. I'm referencing to the glucose goddess. She is a glucose goddess. Read her books, listen to her on podcast, follow her on Instagram, see what glucose spikes can do and how to mitigate them, what you can do that it's not spiking so much without hunger, without never ever having a cookie again, without never having pasta again, to really indulge and keep eating your food, but to apply all of her hacks. They're wonderful. They're really, really wonderful. So, wow, I'm relieved. I'm so relieved. I'm so relieved because I started to panic, especially this past month when I had 3 times eye inflammation. I had 1 eye inflammation when my cycle ended and the next began, but that was a rather short one. Then I had the eye inflammation around ovulation, and then it was a really bad one. And then it then it almost healed, and then it reoccurred. It re-inflamed, and I was thinking like, no. I'm getting tired. I don't know what else to do. I cannot go to more saunas, more cold plunges, eat more healthily, get better sleep, apply more hormones. I really didn't know what to do. So I'm super, super grateful that those inflammatory markers are, they're still on holiday, and they should stay there forever, for a very, very long time. However, if you notice that many of your symptoms are not getting better, it could be the glucose thing. Yeah. Do lifestyle changes, apply them. They're not just good during perimenopause, they're good for so many other things too. And possibly get your glucose levels checked, get your insulin levels checked, get your inflammatory markers checked. And when I saw my healthcare practitioner, I had a full list which Dr. Mary Claire Haver, which she had recommended to get. And I went to see my healthcare practitioner, not saying that I currently urgently have a thing, but I want to have it as a base so that I'm knowing what's kind of my intermediate base, so that in about 10 years or 5 years, we can look back what has changed. And ideally, I did not consider it. I did not know it. And even if I would have known, I would have not known what to get measured. I would have done that when I was in my early 30s and in my late 30s again. And now, to really see what was my baseline, what was my starting line, and not just now trying to meddle through it, because in another video I spoke about low testosterone levels. It could just be that I'm a woman with low testosterone, but it could have been that my testosterone has never been low, but now for whatever reasons it's just plummeting. That's a different thing, I would say, than just knowing my testosterone was always low and now it's a bit lower than low. It's the same number, but the story behind it, it's a different thing. And so if you're younger, if you're not yet in perimenopause, if you're maybe even in your early 30s, go to the website of Dr. Mary Claire Haver, get the checklist and get the tests done. I can really, really, really only encourage you on that, to do that when you're older, 5 years older, 10 years older, 15 years older. You will be thanking yourself. You will be thanking yourself. I mean, I have blood tests on other things from older days, like cholesterol levels, my blood count, all of that. I have that, but it would have been so nice to also have hormone levels included and inflammatory markers included. Like, yeah, yes. Yeah, lesson learned. Next life, I'll do it differently. If you found other good overviews of what measures to get measured and when to do that, and which results or surprises you've had when you visited your doctor, please share in the comments. Also, please share with your friends about perimenopause and menopause. Share with your family, with your loved ones, and I'm looking forward to see you next time.